I didn't press. All right, and we are live today again at our day 20 second Spice Up Manifestation Hot Sauce Sessions. And we are here with Joanna. Joanna, I just wanted to say thank you for joining us, for coming today to share your experience, to share your manifestation journey with us, and welcome to this time with us.
Thank you. I appreciate the invitation and you thinking of me. I love it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's such a pleasure to work with you. But Joanna, let's go back. Let's talk about the first time when you came to the workshop that I
Mm.
always invite everybody to come and attend. What was something for you that you experienced at the workshop that you've decided to schedule then one-on-one and then decided to work with me?
It was the fact that I never felt like I had a purpose. And
Mhm.
so when you were talking about finding a purpose and working with you, you can find that purpose. And that's something that just really stood out to me. So, and I was stuck. I really didn't know where to go, who to reach out to, what to do. So with that first workshop, there were so many things that you were just talking about that really resonated with me. And it was kind of like a no-brainer. I just knew that talking to you and working with you was something that I wanted to find out more about. And so that's kind of what prompted me to do the one-on-one, is to find out more about how I can tap into what my purpose is, what I need to do to find that purpose. And I know I needed help to do that. And Irina, you were just the perfect match. You came into my life right at the exact time I needed you.
Oh my God, this is so beautiful. Thanks so much for sharing and thanks so much for trusting in me and my work. And Joanna, let's go back. Like when you came and you said yes. First of all, I love that you are very decisive. And that's exactly what I keep telling the people. Our intuition always speaks in the first 3 to 5 seconds, and then our logic mind takes over. And our logic mind is going to find a gazillion of excuses why we are not supposed to do this work. We do not have time. We do not have money. This is not our priority. We are not sure it works, right? But the idea is when we have the trust and connect to our heart or our soul, we say, right? Because our soul always knows what's good for us. And if we have that burning desire for something or that longing that to discover something about ourselves or to do something that we never experienced, or maybe we just fed up from whatever the experience of life that we have and we are ready for something different, right? We always want to say yes to our longing and our discontent to make sure that we are moving in the right direction. And I truly celebrate you for stepping into that power and saying yes to yourself. And right now, we are already almost 6 months working together.
Oh my
So
goodness.
tell a little bit like any aha moments as we are going through the course, right? Because I always say to people, it's not only about achieving your goal or dream, but who you become in the process. Like, what are some shifts that you are noticing as we are going through the program?
Yeah, as you were talking about being fed up, and that's exactly what it was. I was just fed up with my life not progressing where I wanted it to go. So that was one of the other reasons I wanted to work with you. And it was just that intuition that I knew that this was something I needed to do with you and work with you. And so the aha moments are just Mary Morrissey, listening to her journey and how she came about, Bob Proctor, the big people in the picture, that there's so much more that we can do, and we are limiting ourselves and we're letting society limit us. So,
Mhm.
just working through all of that and working and listening to the workbooks and hearing all the stories and not letting ourselves get limited to what we think that we can or cannot do. It's just amazing how much insight and intuition and everything that we have that we're not tapping into, that we have this potential to do all of this stuff, but yet we just kind of sit there and are complacent and we just don't follow through with that. And with working with you, Irina, I see a shift in me. And I was somewhat positive before, but
Mhm.
working with you, I see more of it now. Going through my vision and journaling, writing it out, seeing it. And you said before, our mind doesn't know the difference between pretend and real. So we can
Mhm.
tell our mind what to think and we can make it a reality. And that was one thing that I'm just like, this is going to happen. And my vision is going to be my reality. So having that and that push forward, knowing that I can have everything that I want in my vision and it will become a reality because it's already written, is
Mhm.
just the catalyst that is just kind of pushing me and pulling me forward.
Absolutely. And I love what you share. And you know what? I have to give you lots of credit, Joanna, because you have two little kids.
Mm,
And I know a lot of moms, they would say, you know what? I just do not have the time for that right now. But how
right.
important it is to find the time for self-care, for
Mm,
self-love, right? Because we always can find this 20 to 30 days, 30 minutes a day to dedicate to ourselves, right? And I was telling you, it's not about being perfect, it's not about spending hours and hours, it's about consistency, and do it every day, little bit and little bit, right? Because we go to Mountain Everest taking the baby steps, right, to reach to
yeah.
the top. And it's the same with the manifestation. When we actually consciously directing what we want and how we want our energy to work to our advantage, it's all about just taking these small steps every day. And
Mhm.
tell a little bit about how you tap into your purpose in terms of what you were lighting up to do.
What I was lining up to do, like with my
Yes,
purpose.
right. Because remember when you came in to me, you were doing your financial
Yes,
business, right? And I
yes.
told you, Joanna, let's take a look. Let's tap into your heart. Like, what is your hobby? What is something that gives you the joy? Like when you do this, that it just like, and you said, baking is my passion because when I
Yeah,
bake, I actually in a different world. Tell a little bit about that
yes.
and how we started to tap into that.
Yeah, so like you were saying, the when I first met you, I met you through kind of like a colleague that was doing financial services, and I had gotten started in that, and I was kind of just like ho hum, it wasn't really something
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really have too much of a passion for it. But when you said, what do you love to do, what makes you happy, I'm like, well, being in my kitchen, like baking cookies and
Mm-hmm.
brownies and all this
Mm-hmm.
other stuff. And I put the love and the care into it, and I'm able to share what I bake with other people. So that was one thing that I just really enjoy doing. It is kind of like my stress relief. And
Mm-hmm.
so getting in the kitchen and baking stuff and figuring out, okay, what am I going to bake today? And, I just kind of let my heart speak to me. It's like, okay, chocolate chip cookies. And I do have a 4-year-old, and she is the queen of sugar cookies. So
Mm.
anytime I ask her if what to bake, she's like, sugar cookies. And I think it's just because she likes the cookie cutters. She likes to roll
Mhm.
out the dough and use the cookie cutters. So she's the queen of sugar cookies. But I'm always trying to sit there. No, don't you want to do something different? She's like, no. Okay,
Mhm.
so sugar cookies it is.
Mhm.
But that's what makes her happy, is making the sugar cookies, and it makes me happy being in the kitchen and sharing that experience with her, because it also goes back to my childhood memories when I was younger. Coming home and smelling the chocolate chip cookies that my dad had baked and knowing that my dad had made them was very special. So I wanted to carry on that
Mhm.
specialty, not only with my adopted daughter, but also with my biological kids. And so
Mhm.
it,
Mhm.
it just has good memories being in the kitchen and baking. And it just makes my heart happy to do something like that. So that's where that kind of tapped into it, is when you
Mm-hmm.
ask me, what makes you happy, what's, so I think that's
Mm-hmm.
just something that I've always longed to do and wanted to do. So yeah.
Awesome. So, can you share that experience? Like, okay, once we realize this is something you want to develop, where you actually, how did you feel? Were you scared? Were you excited in terms that when I said, okay, Joanna, this is now the business that we are going to be building together through manifestation? How did you feel in that moment?
Worried.
Mm-hmm.
I felt kind of stifled. I felt
Mm-hmm.
worried. I felt overwhelmed. Like, how is this going to happen? Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't even know where to begin. And so it
Mm-hmm.
was just that all these feelings came out. Like, maybe I don't have a big enough, all these things, all the what ifs, and like, I
Right.
don't know. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
was the major feelings that came out.
Yes, and yes, and I love as you describe it. So how we are we approaching it? Like what do we do each session?
Yeah, like you were saying, it's baby steps. You talk
Mm-hmm.
me through what I need to do that day or that night. It's just
Mm-hmm.
write things down, and you and I discuss a lot of what needs to be done the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're basically telling me the steps to take, and
Mm-hmm.
I need to follow through and do them. So I really
Mm-hmm.
appreciate that, because otherwise I wouldn't know where to start. I wouldn't know what to do. But with your guidance, you're telling me, and you're saying, okay, and your ideas too come up. You say, okay, well, I just got this, popped up into my head. What about this?
Yes.
So there's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
your ideas as well. So, working together, the
Yes.
two, it
And
makes it very manageable.
I love how it all works together because, like I said, there is always somebody who knows how to tap into what we want, right?
Mhm.
That's why coaches have coaches and we are
Yes.
all coachable. It's all about our willingness to open our mind and say yes to ourselves, right?
Mhm.
Stop asking these questions, but how? Because how is not our job to know. As long as we are passionate about what we want to do and we trust the process, we trust the guidance of the expert, right? So that's exactly how we are tapping. And I love because that's exactly what I was sharing. This is my gift. That's when I'm with the client, I start downloading the steps because yes, you're right. Action steps is something that keeps us loop, circling through the same loop because we do not know exactly what to do. But at that moment, I do receive the insights and I always share with people. And as long as we are willing to take these steps and do something about it, right? Because it's all about actions. What can we do? And see how these actions are getting us closer to where we want to be. And I just love, Joanna, that now you have your website. You just went on and you created your own website. You also went on and started to talk to the people,
Mhm.
distributing the business cards. You started like all these things, right? And it's like every session, it's step by step process. What exactly can we do today, right? And I just see like your face is lighting up and the way your energy shifts as we are going through that process, right? Because I see how much you love it and how much you start seeing like your own bakery business, having all these gatherings as we are discussing them, right? So and now we are actually tapping into the journaling together, right? Because I said there is a power when we do things together, and journaling is something that we all can do, and we can become the authors of our own life. And it's amazing how we can create something. So tell a little bit more about the journaling and the experience and how things are shifting and the evidence that you're collecting on the way.
Yeah, with the journaling, I think it was challenging in the beginning, because when am I going to find the time? How am I going to do this? Like, I don't like to write, so all of these
Mhm.
things came up. But I am so glad that you challenged me to do the 30 days of journaling, because it started the whole thing. I'm writing out my vision. I'm writing in detail how I want it to go. I am just getting so much positive energy from getting it out of my head onto a piece of paper or onto the computer. And so it's just the fact that each little step I'm writing down, and I am seeing evidence of it working, of writing out the details and having my visions come to reality with the journaling. So, and it is just empowering to know that you can write stuff down and it's just going to come to fruition. It does, it's work. It's not just magic. You just write it down on a piece of paper and poof. But yeah,
Right.
it's putting that all together. You're writing out your vision. You're taking the steps to do it. You're journaling how you want your life, what you want it to look like. So it's just amazing that it's just happening. And yeah, it does bring about a different vibration and the energy that you can feel from journaling.
Absolutely. And remember, we were checking with each other together, and I said, Joanna, how did you feel as you were journaling? And you were like, I was smiling. And I said, I had the same emotions, right? Because you can bring yourself into the space of love or space of creation, a space where it's like your la la land, right? This is your dream that you are creating, and you have no limits. You can put anything what you want. And remember that the universe always delivers either this what we are writing or even something better, right? Because we cannot see all the pictures, but universe has the entire puzzle, right? We see just pieces of it. And that's why we are creating from our level of awareness. But the more we do this work, the more we grow our awareness. And what is your last win that you just texted me the other day, the evidence that things started to move for you?
I in the financial services business, I needed a business partner, and that business partner, they came on board. So I have a business partner, and with that business partner, it's I wanted my life partner to also be in the business with me. So, there's that possibility that this could be the person. It could develop into that, or it could not, but that's okay. Something better. It's
Right.
definitely that was the win, is writing out that I wanted a business partner, and the partner in life, and it came about. So
I
yeah.
love it. I love it what you share. It's just like your life goes on a different, level, and you experience a different reality. It just you becomes like become again that child that has this
Yes.
curiosity energy, right? You wake up not thinking about the problems, but rather, okay, what can I do today? What kind of people I'm gonna meet that are gonna have the answers for me? What miracles I'm ready to welcome today in my life, right? What evidence I'm going to collect that I'm on the right path, and everything what I'm journaling is coming true. So it's a different type of energy. So we expand our attention on something that we want rather on something that we do not want. Because remember, our general way of operating, we are wired to think about negative things. What if something happens bad? We worry too much, we stress ourselves. But here it's like a huge shift. You go from one end to another, and you choose to think more positive. You choose to
Yes.
uh, select the outcomes that are desirable for you. And then when things are really working out, it's just like you celebrate yourself. You have the evidence of the things really moving in your direction, and it's a completely different energetic state that we are experiencing.
Yes, absolutely. I
Yeah,
can't
that's
disagree with that. I mean, that's very true.
yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's all common. It's all just in the perfect timing, right? And
Yeah.
Joanna, what would you advise to somebody who is still kind of on the verge of, should I have the coach or I shouldn't? What would you tell them? What would be your advice?
You can't go wrong with having, every great person has had a coach. You look
Mm-hmm.
back in history, everybody had a coach. I mean, I'm old school. So gymnastics was Mary Lou Retton. I don't know if you know who that is, but Mary Lou Retton had a coach. She was amazing at gymnastics. She's a gold medal winner. You look at Vince Lombardi and coaching the Packers. They just were amazing football team. everybody has had a coach. If even if you think you're the best, you still need a coach. So
Mm-hmm.
just don't have any, like, qualms about it. Just do it. You just have to
Mm-hmm.
give yourself that extra push and have someone that's going to have your back and be that person for you that's going to help you progress and get your vision and get what you want out of this life. So, you
I
just have
love what you shared. And a lot of people do not have the awareness. Remember, just because we do not know something, it doesn't mean it's not there. A lot of
to.
people are not aware that all these athletes, not only they have their sports coaches, they also have the mindset coaches, because the mindset is even more critical than just physical appearance.
Hmm.
And everybody, all the successful people, they never got that success on them by themselves.
Nope.
Every successful person had a coach. And
Hmm.
if you start the research, and I challenge everybody, whoever is listening to this episode, just go and research, and you'll see that there are people who are standing behind every successful person, because we were not meant to do this work alone. There is always somebody there who knows already the answers to whatever we want to achieve. So
Hmm.
why do we have to waste the time? Why do we have to just wander blindfolded and just see that when life takes us and gives us something, why don't we partner with somebody who can give us the shortcut, who has the system, who has already achieved the results, and they are taking us through that system in order for us to see the success and generate the results that we desire.
Yeah.
Joanna, thank you so, so much. That was so beautiful. And I just wanted to continue celebrating you. I just want to say that I appreciate you, and I'm so grateful that you are one of my clients. And I know there is a lot of successes coming your way. And I'm here to celebrate every milestone with you. And I know that once that bakery is going to be open, we are going to have another life, and I'm coming there. We are celebrating the grand opening, and
Yeah.
things are really going to be beautiful, beautiful. And for everybody who is listening, start with something, right? Just make that first step to be open to the discovery. Show up for my workshop. I have the link. Tomorrow I have my workshop. It's going to be September 17th. If you are going to be watching later, I still have that workshop. Just discover yourself. See what it is for yourself before you say no. See what you are denying, because if you
Hmm.
never try what it is, you cannot say no. First try it, and then you can have the right to say this is for me or this is not for me. But at least try, give yourself the chance to discover, to live the life the way that you want to live. Joanna, thank you so, so much for joining, for having this beautiful conversation, and for inspiring others to take control of their life, not depend on the government, not depend
Right.
on the partner, not depend on any other circumstances in order to live the life that they want to live. Thank
Yes.
you so
Thank
much.
you. Oh, mwah. I love you
Thank
so much, Irina. Thank you.
you.